Hello everyone, this is our last part of pressure ulcer. So now continue with this topic. Okay, so here we are going to discuss on the complications of wound healings. Okay, let's. So first is the internal hemorrhage. It is occur due to the if there is any slip surgical sutures are slipped from the blood vessels and bleeding occur internally within the tissue. Okay, so it is causing internal hemorrhage, and it is not visible if if the any surgical drainage are not be used. If the patient having only suture on the wound area, and there is any internal bleeding happen in that patient, so that their sign is not be visible in those patient immediately. We cannot be predict that determine the internal hemorrhage. Okay, and the function of surgical drainage is that they are help to remove the fluid that is collected inside the drainage. Okay, so surgical drainage may be inserted into tissue beneath and beneath a wound to remove the fluid that collected the underlying tissue. So internal bleeding detected by looking the area. Okay, how you can detect there is any internal bleeding is happened. You can see that there is a distension or swelling of affected body parts. Change the and second is the change in the type and amount of drainage that from the surgical drainage, and a sign of hypovolemic shock. These are the signs you can determine that there is an internal bleeding uh, occur in the patient. Second is the hematoma. In this, it is a localized collection of blood beneath the tissue. So in the this picture, you can see that there is a collection of the blood under the tissue. Okay, so it is their color is purple and maroon color, and area is swell and change in their color than the surrounding area, and having a sensation, or the area may be warm, that often be a color of bluish, that you can see here, that is a bluish color, that is purple bluish color is show in the picture. It show the hematoma, that is a blood collect under the tissue. Hematoma, if near the major artery and veins, it is dangerous because it can block the vein and artery, and so that the blood cannot be supplied to the major organ. Okay, so it is dangerous if it is if it is near the major artery and veins. Next is the external hemorrhage. External hemorrhage can be seen from the outside. Okay, how you can say, you can observe the dressing that cover the wound, and if there is any bloody drainage, you can determine that there is any external hemorrhage, that blood can come outside the wound. Okay, observe all the wound closely, particularly surgical wound, and the risk of factor of hemorrhage is greater during the first 24 hours to 48 hours after the surgery. Okay, so these are the risk area where you are well aware about the any kind of drainage that come out from the wound. Okay, so these are the hemorrhage, about the hemorrhage. Okay, Is the second most common complication during the wound healing process, and this is was a infection, and infection is caused by the healthcare worker, and it is known as a healthcare associate infection, and also known as nosocomial infection. If you see any patient having any wound infection, it include erythema, increased amount of drainage, change in the appearance of wound drainage, and having pain and edema. These are the situation are we there on the wound area, okay? And then you can predict that this was an infection wound. This was a contaminated wound, okay? If the wound is contaminated or traumatic wound, it shows sign of infection within 2 and 3 days. Okay, and surgical wound infection usually does not develop until the fourth or fifth post-operative day. So in a post-operative patient, the infection cannot be seen until the fourth and fifth day. Okay, and patient have a fever, tenderness, and pain at the wound site, and there is an elevated number of WBC count. So when you are when you are going to assess that patient, when you uh, are caring of that patient, you see that they have a fever, they have a tenderness, means having a pain on that wound area, and they have an elevated WBC count in their laboratory reports. The edges of the wound are appear to inflamed, inflamed, having swelling. Okay. Third one is the dehiscence. In this, the wound is failed to heal properly, and the layer of the skin and tissue are separate. So, in this complication, the skin and tissue are separated, and it is most commonly occur before the collagen formation. That is after 3 to 11 day after the injury. So, it is more common before the collagen formation. Okay, dehiscence is a partial or total separation of wound layer. Okay, it may be a partial separation and total separation of the wound layers. If poor status of nutrition and infection or obesity is a high risk for the dehiscence of the wound. Okay, if a patient have a poor nutrition and having any kind of infection, and patient is very obese, the chance of wound dehiscence is more, and in obese patient is highly risky. Okay. Dehiscence is frequently involved in abdominal surgery, surgical wound, and occur often as sudden stain such as coughing, vomiting, and sitting up in the bed. If any kind of surgery occur on the wound, the the dehiscence is more common in that cases, and it is more uh, frequently occur if the patient are going to coughing, vomiting, and sitting change their position, that like he sit in the bed. So in that condition, the essence of the wound is more common. Okay, there is an if in in a patient they have any kind of deep wound, there is an increase in serosagenius drainage from the wound in the first few days after the surgery. Then we can assume that there is a chance of dehiscence of wound. Okay, if the patient wound have a increase the serosagenius drainage, so we can predict that there is a chance of dehiscence of the wound. Okay. Evisceration is a last complication of wound healing. In this case, there is a total separation of wound layer, and the vital, that is visceral organ, are protrude out from the wound area, and the wound is opened, and this was a emergency condition. In this condition, there is a requirement of surgical repair, means there is a requirement of immediate suturing of that wound area. Okay, when the evisceration occur, uh, now you are see that there is a evisceration occur in the patient, you are immediately place sterile towels soaked in the saline water over the extruding tissue to reduce the chance of bacterial invasion and drying of the tissue. So when you see that there is evisceration occur in that patient, you are immediately going to apply a surgical towels that which are soaked in the saline water like a NaCl, and over the that exudating tissue to reduce their chance of bacterial infection and drying of the that tissue. Okay, and do not allow the patient nothing by the mouth. uh, Observing him and her sign and symptom of any shock, and prepare him and her for emergency, because it was an emergency condition. I hope you understand the whole lecture, and this was our last lecture on the pressure ulcer. Thank you for watching my video and keep watching my lectures.